welcome back.
It's good to see you again.
I'm Marsha, also known as Very Little on all the things.
I'm Priscilla, also known as Scilla__P on Instagram and Pudzilla on Ravelry.
Hi.
So grab your knitting.
And it's been about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it looks like we record on Friday and it's up by Saturday. So that's been what's happening.
Yeah, that's been our pattern so far, which has been working really well.
Yeah, so let's just keep that in mind, I guess. That's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
So how's your past 2 weeks been?
Mine has been great. I've been working a lot. Actually, I was sick earlier this week. I took a day off work just to lay on the couch and do nothing, which was delightful.
Poor Scilla.
I didn't even knit that day. I just literally laid on the couch and did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's been really good. I've been busy with work, getting a lot done on my thesis.
That's
so
good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I want to do. So this weekend's gonna be mostly thesis stuff as well.
Good.
What about you, Marsha?
And are you loving your thesis?
No. I mean, let's keep things positive.
Let's keep things positive.
My thesis is going to be very rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be when it's all done.
When I look back at the experience, I'm sure I'll feel happy and relieved
that it's over. I've had a crazy last couple weeks. I got some stuff done. And I've been having meetings and stuff regarding we have an art center here in town, and I'm going to be teaching knitting. Yay. Take
So
what
exciting.
you love and make it what you do. And also I started doing sample knitting for the yarn store in town, which I'm already loving, so that's good. And yeah, I'm just formulating a plan to see how it's all going to go, and making a business plan, doing a SWOT analysis as you do.
A SWOT analysis, that's super exciting though.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Making what you love your life.
I feel like,
yeah, I think it's a great plan for life.
Yeah, I was in sales, insurance sales, and I'm good at sales, but it's not my passion.
So why don't you find a way to sell something you enjoy?
Well, yeah, that would be owning a yarn shop, but I'm not. I'm not doing that. So what are you working on, Scilla?
I am working on, right now, as you say that I've switched to a knit stitch, I'm just knitting a swatch right now. Right now I'm knitting a swatch because I'm going to be knitting the Anne sweater from Anna Green Gables Knits. So this is, I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to, there.
Green Gables Knits.
Green Gables Knits. So
Yeah.
this is the book, and see if I can find a picture of Anne's sweater. This is the back of Anne's sweater. So you can't really see it very well, but it's really pretty, and it's got
You can go on Ravelry though. There's photos on Ravelry of the sweater. Who designed it, Scilla?
Joanna Johnson.
And how difficult is it? What's the difficulty level?
A difficulty level is 2 carats.
I love that. It's 2 carats difficult.
So based on the carat scheme, it is 2. And here's kind of what the front looks like, if you could see that there. That's a pretty good picture.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty cozy, pretty floaty sweater. I tend to go for cozy, floaty sweaters. Marsha calls them my counseling sweaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I really like them. They're comfy, they're relaxed, and they just make me feel approachable.
What yarn are you using?
I am actually using the Bliss. Oh, there it is.
Debbie Bliss.
Debbie Bliss. It is 95% wool and 5% cashmere. It's fine donegal. Pardon?
Cashmere.
Cashmere. And so this is its tag, and this is its yarn. It calls for 3.75 millimeter needles, or 3 US.
Tell me about the yarn.
For sizes. The yarn it's interesting. I'm just starting to knit with it, so I don't have a good gauge of it. It's super, it feels like wool when you press it, but with a very soft cashmere addition. And it has flecks of light blue and red throughout it.
They're almost, I would say neps, almost.
There are neps. There are neps of light blue and red throughout it. And so I'm actually going to do the ribbing around the edge in a red that has neps of this dark blue and light blue within it. So it's going to be really pretty. I haven't picked that up yet, so I'm going to pick that up probably on this weekend. And I'm just knitting it with it for the first time. And because it is wool and cashmere, and I think it's a single ply. No, it's a double ply. But it's very delicate, sensitive yarn. So while working with this yarn, you really have to love it and be gentle and be kind to it. I'm used to working with Malabrigo and Madeline Tosh, which that that yarn is very, very forgiving.
It depends what ply. This is a single ply, so it will pull apart if you yank on it.
It'll pull apart.
If you yank on it, Scilla.
I know. I was trying to cast it on, and so far though I've knit about a row and a half, and I'm actually really loving the way it's turning out and the way it's working up. I was a little skeptical coming into it, but it's beautiful, and it's so soft, and it's soft when it works up too, and I love that. And yeah, when I was casting it on, I was trying to do my initial slip knot, and I like just tugged, and it came apart. And then I did it again. And Marsha's like, "What's the face, Scilla?" And I'm like, "I love it, and I don't want to hurt it." And so, yeah, this is yarn that's wool and cashmere that really needs to be loved when it's knit. And it smells really nice. So I smell my yarn.
It smells good.
And I love the way the colors in it just kind of pop out. They're subtle, but they pop. So it's going to be gorgeous. I can't wait to see what it works into. So I'm also working on the basic cable scarf. Oops, I dropped my cable needle. So it's the basic cable scarf. It is designed by Knit-o-matic is the designer name, and the actual designer is Haley Waxberg.
Good job.
Just nailed it. Haley Waxberg. And it's beautiful. I'm knitting it on a Madeline Tosh metallic purple color.
That yarn is gorgeous.
I love this yarn. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find the tag. I looked everywhere this morning, and I even went online and Googled Madeline Tosh purples and Madeline Tosh metallic purples, and I even looked through their entire color thing, alphabetical, to see if I could find this color, and I wasn't sure on it. So
it is a metallic looking color, but it has blue and a very light purple running through it, and it's so pretty. Like, it shows the cables so nicely, and it looks like it's a 4-ply. Yeah, it looks like a 4-ply, and or a 3 or 4-ply. Anyway, it's the cables just really pop in it, and it's Scilla.
I love it.
She's been loving it.
And when you you squish it, it's squishy. It pulls apart. It shows beautiful definition. It's got great stretch in both directions. I know part of that is my knitting and my gauge, but the yarn just really, really does exactly what I want it to. And I was surprised at how well it held the cables and how pretty it looked, which I shouldn't have been surprised.
The definition's really good.
It's Madeline Tosh, and it's super, super soft. It's 100% superwash merino, and I love it. And I actually, unfortunately, the place I got the yarn was an hour away, and I almost got in my car and drove to buy another skein. I have a habit of buying one skein of yarn, and then I get through it, and I'm like, I need a second. Yeah. And I never buy for a project.
That was a birthday present.
It was a birthday present, and it was wonderful.
I took Scilla into the store and just said, pick.
Pick what you want.
Pick what you want. And she did.
All sorts of beautiful. And I'll show you all the beautiful when we get there in a little bit. But so those are the two things that I'm working on right now. What are you working on?
Ooh, well, I'm working on, at this exact minute, I'm working on, it's a free pattern, and it's by Drops, and it's called Winter Moss. And it's a free pattern. Drops patterns usually are. It's hard to see on here because I didn't use a lot of ink to get the picture out. But what it is it's a Colorwork top that has it has ribbing at the bottom, and then it's just straight knit to here, and then it's got short sleeves, and it's Colorwork along the yoke. And Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast sent me some Drops Alpaca in this color. It's just numbered color, so I'm just going to show you the color. And it's alpaca yarn, and it's really nice. I'd purchased some of this drops alpaca previously. Here's the pink. So I just have one little skein of this. There we go. And the sun is really shining on it.
It's a really sunny day here.
Yeah, that's pretty close to what it looks like.
Yeah, it is.
And this is one of my favorite colors right now. But I only had one skein of that. So so Mina sent me, I think, 4 skeins of this, and it was enough if I wanted to do a shawl. But I kind of wanted to do, it's a fingering weight, so I kind of wanted to do a sweater. So I went and picked up the remainder of what I would need in the black. So I got black, and then also I had this in my stash. I purchased this with the pink, and it's a gray. So it calls for 3 colors. I was going to originally just do it in the yellow and the black, but I think that the gray really pulls it all together, and it is coming along swimmingly. I'm really enjoying this yarn. Can
I touch it?
Yeah.
I like the way it feels. It's gonna be a nice light sweater for spring.
It's gonna be warm. Alpaca's warm. Yeah. No,
so it's gonna be a really warm
early spring.
For early spring.
Early spring, yeah. But
I really like the way the colors are going together, though.
Yeah, the color work is coming out really nicely, and I feel like when it blocks, that's where the magic happens. So it's gray in here, and then it's got a speck of black right there, and so yeah, I have exactly the amount of yarn I need in the yellow, so it's going to look really good. And when I was first looking at it, I was like, the yarn store only had like black was the only color that could coordinate with this. So I was thinking, well, maybe stripes, but if it's yellow and black, I might look like a bee. So I was like, maybe if I do color work, it'll break it up. I have to say the 2x2 rib felt like it was lasting forever, because at the time I was knitting 2 projects, and one was a sock head hat, which I'll show you in a minute. And then the other is this, and it's 2x2 rib. So it was just going between one 2x2 rib to another 2x2 rib. It was
all of us is 2x2 ribs.
I just feel like it's all 2x2 rib right now. I want to move on. So I just really got down to this. I started it last week, right?
Yeah, it wasn't very long ago.
So it's fingering weight, and it is almost to where it needs to be. I think I have 3 more inches left. 2 or 3 more inches. Oh, I just pulled it off.
Oh no!
2 or 3 more inches left, and then I will do the little sleeves and then the yoke. So that's good. By our next episode, it should be done. And that will be my 2nd sweater this year. So I'm very excited about that. That I'm working on right now because I'm at a spot where I don't have to increase or decrease.
I love it's already your 2nd sweater this year, and it's the beginning of March.
Yeah, I love it too. This is my very first knit that I'm doing for a sample knit, and it's not the actual like big pattern because I draw all over it. So it's by stolenstitches.com, and it's called The Adrift by Carol Feller. And it's really hard to see, but what it is it's a lace weight top that it's open, and it's longer in the front, and it's super flowy, and I'm knitting it in the Diamond Luxury Pima Lino Calori, and it's Pima cotton and linen. So that's hard to see. Okay, 60% cotton, 40% linen, and it's the Diamond Luxury. So this,
how do you like that yarn?
I'm really liking this yarn.
You tend to stay away from cotton, don't you?
Yes, I totally stay away from cotton. But that's because that was back in the day when all I could get was crafters cotton.
Mm.
So
I just remember the Spider-Man hats you made that were cotton.
Yeah, and that kind of cotton was like really hurting my wrists because it's a lot of work. This cotton linen, it will soften up. Linen will soften up once it's blocked, but it is lace weight, and this one's knit, the other one's knit from bottom up, this one's knit from the top down. So, and this is a paid for pattern. Did you just pull it off? You broke it. So this is a paid for pattern, and it's so, like, you can see right through it. But it's going to be really nice for here because we live in, it's a holiday destination where we live. It is the area is the wine area of Canada, and we have a major wine culture. We have a very long summer. It's already warm outside. There's no snow. There hasn't been snow for probably a month and a half even. Since January we haven't had snow, and the grass is already turning green, and it's nice and warm outside.
Yeah,
like
it's beautiful. It's
10
like
degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's actually went to 12 yesterday.
Yeah, it's really nice outside, and the trees are starting to push buds and stuff, which is always a good sign. And yeah, it's gorgeous outside right now. So this is really good for the summertime because when you go to a winery, you go to a restaurant, it's too hot here to
Wear anything knit.
to wear
most things that are knit.
knit garments or knit items, because it gets into the 40s Celsius, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying this knit, and I'm doing them raglan increases right now, and there's short rows in this pattern, which are
104.
It's 104.
104.
Yeah, so 104 Fahrenheit. So that's what it gets up to in the summer, and it's not just gets up to; it's kind of lives in that.
Yeah, it just
that
hangs
area.
out there
Yeah.
for like
it gets
2-3
up
months.
to 45, I think, is what the high is.
Yeah,
Like
usually
our lakes are usually in the 20 Celsius.
Yeah, they're like warm bath water.
In midsummer. It's gorgeous here. So this is there's short row shaping in here. It's not a whole lot. It's wraps and turns. I'm following the pattern. I'm not taking any literal license. I'm following it exactly because it's going to be in the store to showcase the pattern and the yarn. So there are different kinds of short rows that I would like to try, and I thought would be neat to try on this, but that's not going to happen on this particular one. So there are other kinds of short rows that would be cool in this too. But it's a nice pattern. So far it's very simple. It starts off, you cast on, and then there's no ribbing. It's just straight. You just get into it right away. So I'm really liking it. I think it's going to be very drapey, and I'm enjoying the yarn, and yeah, it's working out really well. And it's going to take, for my size, it's going to take three skeins, and that's what it looks like balled up. And it is lace weight, so it looks fairly fine. It looks like a 2-ply, I want to say. Here, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's fairly fine. I like knitting with fine things, so
You like the finer side of life.
I do. I've also been knitting on this. It hasn't gotten a whole bunch of love, but it's my sockhead hat, and
I love the colors on that.
Oh, the other ones I'm knitting on high sharps. These ones are carbons, I think. Yes, carbons.
Is that the Knit Picks rainbow?
No, this is Nicole C. Mendez rainbow.
Okay.
And I am really loving it. Like, it is coming out a lot brighter than I thought it would. Like, I thought it was going to be a lot more pastel than it is, but it's knitting up real. I'm really liking this.
Yeah, because it looks more pastel when you actually look at the cake.
Yeah, when you look at the cake, it's I think it's because it's wrapped in the yellow and the orange, which gives it that.
Oh, maybe it pulls out the lighters.
It looks like it's lighter, but actually when it's knit up, it is, like, it looks, see, it does look brighter than.
Yeah, it totally looks brighter
than that. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Actually, Nicole had a online giveaway thing, and I won.
Oh, really?
Recently, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats.
Sending me some new yarn. I've never won anything on one of those. Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Like, even when I've entered stuff in Knitalongs and stuff, I've never won. So, I'm so excited. Yay!
Can I ask you a really important question?
If it's important.
It is important. So, when you were talking about your sweater,
yes.
I was you mentioned that your pattern was drops. Then you mentioned that your yarn was Drops Alpaca.
Yes.
Is it the same brand of drops, or are they two different companies both named Drops?
No, it's the same.
Okay.
They put out designs that you can use their
yarn for. Okay, so then their yarn is specifically, like, that was the recommended yarn for that pattern too, was their drops.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
See, very important question.
Yeah. So, I've also gotten back to this one, and it is my Pride and Prejudice cardigan. There it is. Pride and Prejudice. I've gotten back to it. I am knitting it on a lace weight. It's coming out to gauge, and it can be knit on a fingering weight, but I am knitting it in Diamond Luxury Collection Baby Alpaca lace.
Pretty.
I've already split for the sleeves, and all of the increases at the top are done, and I'm working down the main body part of it now. This is one of the things that is do this and, so it doesn't get a whole lot of love because it's, you know me and do this and.
Do this and.
See you
do
later.
This and.
Yeah, so I'm at the and part. Like, it's like every so often you have to add in a buttonhole. I'm on the row that I add in the buttonhole, and so I put it away.
You're hilarious. When I get to the ands, I'm like, okay, I have to finish this before I leave because I can't leave it on something I don't like, or else I'll never go back to it.
Mm-hmm. And this is getting slow love because I've already knit it twice. And this is...
Hey, look at your needle holder.
Knitting I Love needle holder.
Love it.
And this is my Narita Express shawl. And it is in a Knit Picks alpaca. I'm just loving the alpaca these days, I guess. I didn't even realize that. Like, how many projects of mine are in alpaca right now? 4.
4, yeah.
4 alpaca projects. Okay, well, I love alpaca.
So you're feeling alpaca right now.
Yeah, I'm really loving it. And this, it's so squishy. Like, it's knit on
I need to squish it.
On a larger gauge.
2 seconds.
So it's very squishy.
Oh, I like that. Can I squish the ball? Oh, it's super squishy. This is scrumptious.
Mm-hmm.
And it's red. It reminds me of berries in the summer.
You bought me this yarn.
Did I?
Yeah.
I bought her berries in the summer. Like, no, because like you know how raspberries, you get all the different colors of raspberries? You get the darker ones when they're in different stages of ripeness.
These ones are the sweetest when they're like the dark color.
The dark color, and you eat them and then they're just about falling off.
Yeah.
And then you have the pale ones that are right here, which is just barely ripe,
sour.
so a little bit tart, a little bit sour. We should rename this Raspberry Bliss.
We can't just rename it.
What?
But I don't think they sell this one anymore because you got it on sale because it was a blowout because they were discontinuing it.
Well, if they've discontinued it, I feel like we can rename it. I think that's fair.
That's the thing. Yeah, so I'm knitting on a lot of things.
You are knitting on a lot of things. You are definitely not a monogamous knitter.
So, but also I wanted to mention that, oh, this needs to go in my other pattern. So we're knitting on all these things, and a few episodes ago we were talking about asking somebody else what they're knitting on, somebody who engages us. So
yes, we did.
We would like to ask Vanessa Kind from Australia.
Vanessa,
what are you working on?
What are you working on? We want to know. We want to see.
So go into the thread in our Ravelry group and show us.
Show us what you're working on.
And you can also put it on Instagram and
tag us.
# Twitch and Stitch podcast. And
what are you working on?
And needs to be spelled out, or else it splits it. And it's
yeah.
Yay!
So exciting. Yeah, because we really want to know.
So, Scilla, what
yes, Marsha?
Do you have done?
So I have one finished object, and I'm going to show it to you. You've probably been looking at it already, and may or may not have even noticed. Marsha tends to always wear her beautiful knitting on our podcast, and I usually knit it and then give it away. But this right here is what I finished. It is the basic cable scarf by Knit-o-matic. Designer, again, is Haley Waxberg. And I'm going to still block it out because I want it to be wider. I want it to go wider. I haven't blocked it yet. So I guess, as Marsha would say, my scarf is his pants down. But I originally was going to sew it together into a cowl, but when I did that, my joining was terrible. Like, I couldn't make it look pretty when I tried to join it. And so I ripped out the joining, and I decided to put a clip in it. And I got this clip from Marsha for Christmas. And it's handmade here in the Okanagan, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful clip. And I thought it would go perfect on this. And once I block it,
it looks really nice. Too. You did a really good job.
Thank you.
And what kind of yarn is that, Scilla?
This is Misty Alpaca.
It's alpaca.
In the chunky. Colorway is M642.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a numbered colorway.
But is that actually it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the colorway.
Love it.
I really, really like the yarn, and I love it when it's a numbered colorway.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Let's rename it.
I feel like we can rename all of the ones
numbers.
that are numbered colorways.
Yeah.
So this colorway is Midnight Magic. Misty Alpaca Midnight Magic.
Yeah.
I'm just renaming it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's its new name. Midnight Magic. And so, yeah, it's super warm. You can wear it multiple ways. You can wear it like this. You can wear it like this. You can take the clip out and wear it like that, Paris style. You can
Paris style.
wear it like this, and then you can, I'm pretty sure you can wear it New York style too. Hold on.
What's New York style?
New York style. New York. It's a little bit short for New York style, but that's backwards.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's a thing. I feel like you
It can be done. All you New Yorkers. No, I didn't. It totally is a thing. It's New York style.
How do you know?
Because it was like back in the 90s. Now it's just caught on to everyone's style, but back in the 90s this was New York style.
How do you know? I keep asking you, how do you know? You just keep saying it's New York style. Tell me how you know. How do you know?
I saw it on a 90s TV show once, but I don't remember which one.
So it's not actually a thing.
Hey, if the media in the 90s said it's a thing, it's a thing. New Yorkers, let us know what you think. So yeah.
Just make stuff up.
I've also renamed the yarn Midnight Magic, so. But seriously though, I love it because it's baby alpaca, so it's not itchy, and it's super soft, super squishy. Smells amazing. Like, I just want to sleep with this. Like, you ever have that yarn that you love so much that you just want to take it to bed with you? And cuddle it, lay it on your pillow. What? It's Midnight Magic. See? Midnight. All right.
It is really pretty, and it's very squishy.
It is really pretty. But I'm also the kind of...
Would you buy that yarn again?
Yes. In fact, I did buy this yarn in... I think about 8 skeins of it to knit a baby blanket.
Mm-hmm. You've knit a couple baby blankets.
Yeah, and I knit one that was white so they could dye it themselves. And then I knit one that was red, which is a terrible idea to knit a baby blanket of something that's hand wash only.
Yeah. Well.
But it's just, it's so soft. All right.
Is it your favorite yarn? Is it one of your favorite yarns?
It's one of my favorite yarns, yes. Yeah, it definitely goes in my favorite yarn pile. And partly because when partly because when I started knitting again...
You could say collection.
Collection. Oh yeah, I do. My collection is getting bigger. So I got a tub that was about this big for my stash. For my birthday, I had to get one that was like almost twice the size because my stash has gotten so big. It just didn't all fit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. When I started knitting again, Marsha recommended that I knit on chunky, so I would feel successful. So she wanted to set me up for this feeling of success and accomplishment, because chunky knits up really, really quick. So if you're a new knitter or you know any new knitters, this is a great yarn to recommend.
Instead of a worsted or like
a sock yarn,
or like a DK, start them on like a chunky or like ultra chunky, like just like, because it's that satisfaction that keeps you going. Like once you know you can knit, and you can knit however quick you knit, and you know you get into your groove and you've experienced it, that's one thing. But when you're a new knitter, like you want to knit 5 rows and have 5 rows worth, instead of knit 5 rows and you've got that much. It's just it's much more satisfying.
It is, and it's more
easier
encouraging
to see your stitches that way.
So if you drop a stitch, it's
easier to see mistakes.
You can give it to your more experienced knitter to fix it.
Yeah. But it's easier to fix mistakes if you can see them, and so a chunkier yarn is better to learn on, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I really enjoy the chunky yarn. And then when I find that I am working on a project that's a little more intricate, Sometimes I switch to something chunky because it makes me feel good. But I also tend to knit the same thing 2, 3, or 4 times before I move on to a new pattern.
Yeah. But you learn a concept and then you practice that concept. It's like anything. Like when I first knit socks in 2013. The summer of 2013, I was learning from a book, and I was learning toe up, and I had to rip the toe out. I don't even know how many times. Probably I want to say 10 times. Because I'd never knit socks before, nobody had ever shown me, and I was doing it from a book, and I kept knitting it too wide, so I'd rip back, and then I'd be like, just pull the whole thing out, and get really frustrated, but then I'm like, this is something I want to know how to do, and so I just wouldn't give up, and like, I never got angry with it, but it was frustrating when it would, like, be that much too big for my foot, too wide for my foot, and I'm like, I gotta go back.
Do it again.
But that's, I was like, that's the skill I want to learn, so I need to do it, and then I need to practice it.
So you can do toe up and
And cuff down.
Cuff down.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
I like, well, for the sockathon, I did cuff down 2 at a time, fish lips, kiss heel, and Mina did the same. And I just and it was her that inspired me to do that. So, I like both. I like doing a heel flap and gusset. The fish lips kiss heel fits my foot perfectly. And it's super quick. Like it's a very quick heel. You're not going to be, unless it's your first time, you're not going to be spending an extensive amount of time doing a heel. A heel flap and gusset, on the other hand, the whole heel flap, heel turn, pick up stitches, gusset down, that is a section of the sock that takes up about that much space, right? So that plus the knitting back and forth, and that heel is going to take a couple hours. Mind you, by the time the heel and the gusset are finished, you're halfway through your foot. But that whole section takes quite a bit more time. I like the look of it. I like it looks finished to me. Like short row heels, I've done them, and the afterthought heels, I used to be addicted to those. They don't have quite the finished look as the heel flap and gusset, and I was inspired by Kay of the Bakery Bears to do the Hermione's Everyday Sock last summer, and that was my first time doing a heel flap and gusset, and it was really nice. I liked it. So I think I only have 2 pairs that have a heel flap and gusset for myself, and then I've done it for socks for Nick. So
nice.
Yeah.
So it really depends.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's great to know, because different people are also going to be drawn to different things, right?
Yeah, and the different aesthetic.
Yeah,
right.
Because I'm thinking about knitting my first pair of socks.
Yeah.
And for my first pair of socks, I'm thinking of doing cuff down.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the fish kiss heel, only because watching you knit for a month,
yeah,
that seems less scary.
Yeah.
Than watching you knit because I've seen you do the other heels too, and the picking up stitches, and that's something I've never done before.
Yeah. And that's
so
the one I would actually recommend for a new knitter, is the fish lips kiss heel.
Okay.
Because it is fairly simple, and it's if you make a mistake, it's easy to find where you've made your mistake. But also, as a new knitter, I liked the toe up, because then I learned how many stitches I needed to go around my foot. So I learned that average is 64 stitch circumference, but that was pre-sockathon, where my gauge loosened up exponentially, and now I'm knitting, when I cast on my next pair of socks, they are going to be probably 2s or 1.75 millimeters.
Oh wow, because your gauge is so much looser.
Because my gauge is so much looser. And I'm getting the itch to cast on some socks, but I keep telling myself this is the year of the sweater. So
the year of the sweater, I like it.
And also, I find, like, I enjoy socks, and I know that lots of people, that's what they knit, that's what they love. Some people are like, love all the shawls.
Yeah, I'm a hat person. Like knitting, I love. We both love knitting hats.
Yeah.
Something.
And I just like, I love knitting all of the things, but I'm an equal opportunity knitter. So, like, I knit
Awesome.
a lot of socks this year already, right?
And so now it's time for the sweaters.
It's time for the sweaters. And, you know, I knit 35 pairs of socks this year. I've already knit one sweater this year. I'm working on my second, and I finished another one. So this will be my third completed sweater this year. But, you know, wouldn't it be funny if I could get even half of that? What if I, in a year, what if I knit 15 sweaters? Or completed 15 sweaters? Because I've got a couple
that are at the do this and
yeah,
stage.
like if I got all of those off the needles, and so say in 2016 I got 15 sweaters off the needles.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Like, I like setting myself ludicrous goals, you guys know that.
I'm gonna knit 35 socks in a month.
But can you imagine? Like, that's a pretty intense goal.
Yeah, that is a pretty intense goal.
But I also feel like, okay, Monica knits. She's on Instagram. Yeah. She's still knitting socks, knitting them away, and she's on pair 34, I want to say. I think 34.
Yeah, and she loves knitting socks. That's her thing.
And so I was thinking when she catches up to the 35, I should just start casting on and like knitting socks with her as well. So, but what I see for this next year is knitting a lot of different things. Really like gravitate to the
things
people
that are different.
Yeah, that the people that are knitting something that is like has brioche. Like, that is something I don't know how to do, and I'm just like, my brain just bends thinking about it. That's awesome.
So for you, that's probably like how I felt about cables.
Yeah,
and anytime anyone knits with cables, I was all about it.
Yeah, and like that really inspires me because I haven't done that yet, you know. Yeah. And so now I'm in the pre-contemplation phase where I'm thinking, brioche, I could do that.
Yeah, you've been talking about brioche a lot this week.
I know.
Yeah,
it's because there's a lot. There's Mina just from the Knitting Expat podcast just put out a brioche pattern, and Stephen West just put out, I think he's done 2 brioche patterns recently, and so like it's all over the interwebs, this brioche business, and I feel like...
Can I ask a beginner question with Scilla?
Okay, what's up?
What is brioche?
So it is, okay, you know what double knitting is, right?
Yes.
Where you use 2 separate yarns and you knit them both at the same time.
Oh, brioche is that layering, isn't it?
So each row, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong because I've never done it. So what it is, what I feel like it is, is you're using 2 different colors. One is a primary color, so it's the color that pops out on the front. Yeah. And then the other one's the secondary color, and it pops out in the back. And you have to knit each row twice. So one is in the main color, and then one is in the next color.
Ah.
And it gives it more depth. It's really stretchy, and it's twice as much yarn, so it's twice as much weight as well.
Yeah.
But it's just, it looks fancy.
That sounds awesome.
So that kind of thing, I'm very interested.
Yeah, I like the look of that.
Yeah. And like, lace was terrifying to me until I took a lace class and found out I was doing my yarn overs wrong.
That's always great to know, hey?
And then I learned how to read charts, and you know, it is very interesting because the first thing we had to do is, she's like, follow this written pattern. So I did it, and it didn't look like anybody else's, and she's like, show me what you're doing. This is what I'm doing. Like, she's like, that is not right.
That is odd.
There's no way you can make that right. She didn't say that.
No way you can make that right. There's no way. That is...
It's so incorrect.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But she showed me how to do it properly. And also I learned, because I watched YouTube channels, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching.
That's how I learned.
But it wasn't just that. It was like what I felt like it should be by the description of what it was.
Oh.
So when I was knitting purl stitches, I was twisting them automatically because of how I grabbed the yarn.
So you were automatically doing twisted purls?
Yeah, so when I would do ribs, all of my first sweaters I did, all of the ribbing is twisted. I had no idea I was doing twisted rib, but and I've heard people complain about twisted rib that it's so much more difficult than regular rib, but because I knit continental, twisted rib is faster.
So it feels more natural.
Yeah, so it feels much more natural, and it's less motion too to do it twisted, which I didn't know what I was doing. And I knit a shawl, and I took it to my knit group, and they said, "Hey, what design is that?" And I said, "It's knitting on one side and purling on the other." And they're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
I'm like, looks like it to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that just because you didn't know any different?
I didn't know any different. I'm just like, just going along, being super happy just to be myself.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, but I myself, look at all that big tangent we just went on. I myself have a finished object.
What is your finished object?
Well, I'm going to put a photo right here. So, it is...
That was beautiful.
I know.
Love that finished object. It's gorgeous.
It's the Brownstone by Jared Flood. And I followed the pattern as it is written. And it is very interesting because I have knit Nick. That's hard to say. Knit Nick. 4 sweaters. One is 100% wool and it's held 3-ply and held triple. And then I knit him another one that's 100% wool, and it is Colorwork.
Sorry, was it held triple because it called for a larger yarn than you actually had? Or did you hold the triple because it called to hold the triple?
It called for a bulky yarn, so I just kept gauge swatching until it matched the gauge that I needed. And
that's a handy trick.
And then I knit him the one, the fingering weight alpaca, because he asked for something that wasn't itchy because all the previous 2 were itchy. So I knit him a fingering weight alpaca sweater, and he loved it. And then I finished the Brownstone, and he loves it. Like, when he first saw it, he's like, I don't know what kind of style you're trying to put me in. This doesn't feel like me.
It doesn't look like his style at all. Like, when you told me he loved it, I was actually a little bit surprised. Like, the color's him, straight up him, but the style. So it's boroccoRemix is the yarn, and it is, it's a blend. There's sari silk in it, there's cotton in it, there's linen in it, and it's, in the ball, it doesn't feel very soft. But when it was knit up, it felt so much softer, and it's got like flecks of different colors in it. Like, it's a green, but then it's got flecks of like yellow in it, and like a little bit of darker shades just in it. I didn't feel it in the ball. It didn't feel soft in the ball?
Not as soft as it did knit up, and then I blocked it, and it's even softer.
Yeah,
and
I just want to like lay on it, take it to bed with
it's so, like, it softened up so much, and he just loves it. Like, I can't get it back from him. That's why I just showed you a picture. Because he just, it's his favorite, and I didn't have to do anything with the arms because he's got broad shoulders, so there's a little bit of like extra fabric here or whatever, but it's not anything that anybody notices, and he doesn't care about. When he's standing straight with his shoulders up, back and down, then you can't even, there's nothing there. So when he's got good posture, you can't see anything like that. But it was a fairly quick knit. I only put it away last year because I hit the knit this and then I put it away.
And then it goes.
Yeah, and so I put that away and then brought it out, and it was really quick to finish. I picked it up right, I think it was it right before our last podcast or right after?
Right after.
And I had it done in three or 4 days, I want to say.
Yeah, it wasn't very long at all.
It was pretty quick because I had the sleeves already done. I had the main part of the body. I just had to add a couple more inches and then attach the sleeves, do the decreases, pick up the collar, and add the toggle buttons. And yeah, that was a quick knit. It's way quicker than knitting with fingering weight.
Yeah.
And I really loved it.
It was beautiful. Like, I love that sweater. Just the colors, the way it went together, and the softness.
And it's cotton, so it
is it really cotton?
Yeah, well, it's mostly cotton. It's cotton and linen.
Wow.
And sari silk. But yeah, and so it's not super, like, it's just an airy kind of, it's lighter. It's not as warm as the alpaca one, which is a lighter weight, but it's
a warmer sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you mentioned it was cotton before, I was stuck on the Sorry Silk. And I'm like, that's such an interesting name. I went somewhere in my head. So that's why you're like, yeah, I said it was cotton. I was like, oh yeah. I got stuck on Sorry Silk. I'm like, who names silk Sorry?
No, it's Sorry Silk from, like, saris. It's recycled saris. It's remix. It's recycled fibers.
From saris?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not I'm sorry, I'm silk.
That's right.
Okay.
So, I'm going to talk about me for a second. No. I'm thinking about doing another design, and I'm looking at a couple different colors. This one's Circus Tonic Handmade in the Marsh Sandpiper, which I just received a couple weeks ago, and it's
I love that yarn.
It's like, it doesn't show up as well there. It is a brownish, pinkish, gray color, and
the pink's really subtle until
you put it up against the pink. And so this is Party of Five Sweet Georgia. This is the Tough Love Soft. I've chosen these colors to go together because I think they look really good together.
They are beautiful together.
They are also the same fiber content, so it's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon in both. This one's Australian superwash merino. This one, I guess, is American. But it's a Canadian dyer. And so I feel like I'll grab the darkest pink out of there. I feel like those are going to look so nice together. It's so, there.
There we go.
That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like those are going to look so nice together, and I have an idea in my head how it's going to look. And I'm really excited about it, but it's going
I can't wait to see, because your designs, I'm always in awe of your designs, Mar, to be honest. Like, I'm like, how did that come from your head?
Exactly.
And how did you even conceptualize? Because I look at something, I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me, but Marsha can see a pattern, see the stitches that go into it, and just conceptualize it and do it. But she's always been able to do stuff like that.
So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the yarn and stuff I received. Beautiful gifts I received from Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast. One of the things is this lovely yarn that is being knit into a sweater as we speak.
She's so thoughtful.
We sent each other mini skeins of all of the yarn that we used in our sockathon. So she sent me minis, I sent her minis, and she put all of the names of everything on here so I can see it all. And yeah,
I love that you guys used a couple of the same skeins.
Yeah, so she didn't send me the ones that I already have skeins of, so that, which is fine because I have that. But it's really cool to see the yarn she did use in person. She sent me these cute little mini scissors. That
are they airplane safe?
Yeah, she says they're airplane safe. They're like for they're nail scissors for babies, but it's so tiny. There you go. Yeah, the little tip, so tiny, it's so cute. And I'm trying to keep the thing out of the addresses out of the picture. And she sent me this cute little Mina Makes card with a little progress keeper on it. I've kept everything together because I wanted to show it to you, and now I'm gonna open all of the things. And she sent me some toffees and some tea, and I already ate one of the toffees because they're delicious and I love sugar. And there's a Nuit's Passable Infusion. I'm not sure what that is. I'm pretty excited. And saffron tea, which saffron is really good for you.
And it's really, really expensive here.
Yes. Yeah, it's the most expensive spice. And then there's, it's Peach Cassie's Infusion. And then a whole bunch of little, like, toffees and stuff. I'm super excited about eating them all. And I'll start as soon as we're done here.
Delicious and awesome.
Yes. So that package was wonderful. Thank you very much, Mina. I really appreciate it.
You should have seen her face when she opened it. She's like, oh, this is amazing. Mina's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then she starts laughing. She's like, look at this.
Yeah, it was so good. And I received another package from the wonderful Melinda from the Yarnder Woman podcast. And she sent me minis. And she sent me minis previously for my other blanket, which I still have some of them left. But she wrapped them.
I love the way she did that.
I know, it mails a lot smaller,
yeah,
I feel like.
Never even occurred to me to do it like that.
This is smart because Canadian Post is so expensive. We mailed out all of our packages that we had to send out. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to start a Patreon page just to pay for postage.
Yeah, it was kidding. It was a lot.
It was super expensive. Like
an average package to send in Canada, that's very
small
like one
package.
skein is about $9.
Yeah, in Canada.
In Canada.
And then if you are crossing the pond, going across any borders or water, it's double that. So we had how many packages? 15?
Yeah.
And
help Twitch and Stitch with shipping.
Yeah. Melinda also sent us each one of these pins, and I wasn't going to tell you because I was going to keep them.
What? She sent me a pin?
Yeah, which one do you want?
Oh my goodness. I'll
even let you choose.
You can pick.
I kind of want this one.
Okay, because I kind of want that one.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Yarnder Woman.
Okay, this totally could have been my,
I love it.
My shawl clip. There.
You're so cute.
Still New York style. Oh.
And she also sent some Australian afternoon brisk and full-bodied tea.
Well, that sounds delightful.
By Twinnings. So yes, so that came and that was lovely, 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 lovely. And I love it. And I've been saving it. I didn't even post it on Instagram that it came because I wanted to.
Yeah, you didn't even show it to me either.
Show all of the people. And also I purchased this, and I can tell you I love the color. I have never knit with her yarn before.
That is totally a Marsha color.
So I love the color. It's from Molly at a Homespun House. And it's blush color in fingering in the Dorheim base. And it is 50% baby alpaca. And 50% awesome. BFL. So I love that it's alpaca. I saw some of this in her sparkly base online. Yarn Hoarder had it, and then I went over and I got this right away because, yes. But
it's pretty.
And she sent, it comes with a little caramel apple pie tea.
I love
a little Kinder candy.
Can I just interject for a second?
Yeah.
I love the connection between yarn and tea. I'm not even sure how or where that started, but the fact that yarn comes with tea just really makes my day. I feel like you should be sitting down with your tea or knitting needles and enjoying your day.
Yeah.
And now, since we started,
yeah,
I feel like knitting isn't complete without tea.
I know. This yarn is very soft, so I'm going to assume it's going to be really nice to work with, but keep your eyes posted because I will knit something with this and then I will tell you what the experience is like.
Can I touch it?
It smells good too.
I like that.
But I have to say this is my last purchase until the Canadian dollar gets better because that was a luxury. So you're going to be casting on a sweater.
I am going to be casting on a sweater, and right now I'm knitting. Actually, you can see how far I've gotten on my swatch even since we've been sitting here. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit skeptical of this yarn.
Yeah.
And
it's looking really nice.
Turns out.
Oh, it's so soft.
It turns out I love it.
Not skeptical anymore.
Not skeptical anymore. So that's what it looks like.
Here, Scilla.
That's what it looks like. Right there. There is a little hole here because that's where I ripped the yarn. And I tried to felt it together just using my hands. But I know, like, just when I was trying to felt it, this yarn would felt together really well if you were to tear it. It wouldn't be, oh no, I've ruined my project. It would be a little bit of warm water, a little bit of hand motion, and you'd be good to go. And I could tell that when I was felting it together, but I didn't want to use too much. I didn't want to be gross. Use my saliva. But I did want to
I didn't want to be gross.
I didn't want to be gross. And so, but I do think that it would totally, like, felt together really nice. So if you did happen to be more aggressive with your yarn like I am, yeah, it would probably felt together nicely. But yeah, it's really pretty. It's working up really nice. So I'm excited to make this into a sweater. So that I'll get back to my camera that time.
Good job. So I'm also looking at casting on another sweater.
Really? What sweater?
Yeah, well, if I have,
I guess if you get 15 sweaters,
I gotta get working. Yes, and it's going to be worsted weight yarn. So it is fall 2015 Interweave Knits that sweater. That one, since I saw it before, like I saw it on Ravelry before it was even released, and so I had to buy
the magazine
to get that pattern, and I think it is gorgeous.
I love it.
And I'm going to knit it in Malabrigo Rios in the Sandbank colorway.
Oh.
And this color has it has a bit of it's kind of a pinkish gray. But it also has like a little bit of a black undertone. So the cables in this, I feel like are going to pop.
Yeah.
Now I've heard the Malabrigo Rios as a sweater pills. I've heard tell of this. I don't knit with it very often. It's Scylla's favorite.
I knit with it all the time.
She knits with it all the time. I don't knit with this yarn that often, but I really would like a sweater that's out of this yarn, and I feel like I can get a shaver and deal with pilling.
Just shave it. I really like it
if it becomes a thing. So
it's interesting. Can I? Marsha and I were having a conversation this morning, and we were talking about weights and Malabrigo, and I love that it's called, what is it,
Rios.
But it's the
Sandbank,
and it's Rios. And Marsha today was telling me about what Rios means and why Rios refers to the weight. And do you want to go ahead and talk about that? Because I'm not going to say it accurately.
So it doesn't actually tell you what weight the yarn is, but if you read the back, there's kind of a bit of a story on the back of the tags as to where the name comes from. And Rios means river in Spanish. So this Rios yarn is named for 4 different rivers in Uruguay, and it's the Rio. Hope I can say this, but I'm going to mispronounce it probably. The Rio Surium, the Rio Uruguay, the Rio de la Plata, the Rio Negro, and each river is represented by 1 ply. So this is a 4-ply. It's talking about the 4 rivers, 4-ply, and these plies twist together like winding rivers. Rios also signifies the yarn's washability. For millennia, rivers have provided water for washing garments. So I can put this in the washing machine, and I'm not going to, but I can.
But you can.
And I've also heard that it grows, so I will definitely be doing a swatch, because I feel like I will probably need to knit a size lower than I actually am.
Yeah.
To get the size I actually need. So I'm planning for that already, which means I'll have extra yarn. But I'm really excited about this, and I think that it's going to look really...
I think it's going to be gorgeous.
Really good. And I'm going to find the name of this. Get the kit, page 12.
Get the kit.
I didn't get the kit.
She picked her own yarn.
That is true.
I really, really love that yarn. I think it's beautiful.
Over and yonder, stitches travel, turn, and come back in designs that explore infinite cables and traditional crosses. So I think it's called the Over and Yonder sweater. And it's from Interweave Knits magazine, fall 2015. So that looks like it's going to go on the needles fairly soon. Because I'm itching to get at it. Itching. So we have a couple knit-alongs going on.
We do. So our double dip knit-along is, we have a thread on Ravelry, and what it is you get to enter something that you've entered in a CAL somewhere else, as long as that CAL's rules does not exclude you from double dipping. And so basically our rules for the double dip along are the same rules as their rules. And what you do is after you've completed it within their time frame, you post it on our double dip along thread with a picture and a link to the original knit along.
Yeah.
And then we will enter into draws, and we're probably going to draw. It's undecided when and how we're going to draw, but we were thinking quarterly on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the more you enter, the more chance you have to win an hour knit along.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Marsha, you want to talk about our other knit along?
So we have another knit along going on that started March 1st, and it is the Narita Express knit along, and it's my new design, and that is what I'm wearing.
It's so
I'm wearing the Narita Express, and this is in the Yarn Ink yarn. Oh, my necklace got caught on it. Yarn Ink yarn, and I really love this yarn. It worked out wonderfully. So this pattern right now is free on Ravelry, and I was blown away. The first day, over 1,000 copies were downloaded.
Yeah, it was
the first day.
Intense.
And I didn't check the top 20 that day of what Ravelers were looking at, but the day after I checked what the top 20 patterns were that Ravelers were looking at, and mine was on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was 8, but it was in the top 20. So I just want to say that so far, like, I designed this pattern as a thank you to you for subscribing, for joining us, for continuing on with us, and, you know,
for being awesome,
engaging with us. You're fabulous. Wanted to thank you all because we've hit a couple milestones in the last couple months with our subscribers and people joining our group. Mm-hmm. So just before we started this episode, over 1,800 copies of my pattern have been downloaded,
which is huge.
That's more than, like, I would even think, right?
Yeah.
And that's you guys. Like, thank you so much for your support. If you haven't gotten it yet, you can go over to Ravelry and look up Narita Express, and you can find the pattern there. It's free to download, and it says $4 because in September it will go up. It will be on sale for $4 after September. But until that point, when you go to the checkout, it takes the $4 off and it's free. So it doesn't charge you anything. And that's to thank you guys for being amazing and supporting us as much as you have. And I'm so glad everybody's been taking advantage of it. Like, that's exactly what it's meant for. It's not a difficult pattern. It's fairly intuitive. There's enough going on that it maintains interest. And if there's some stuff that would be really cool for a new knitter to learn in it that is not difficult. Like, it is explained really well, and anything you need to look up you could find on YouTube.
Yeah, I think she designed it as a pattern that I would be able to knit.
Yeah, she's gonna cast it on.
Yeah,
she has to.
So
I'm gonna make
so
her.
For the 1 and 2 carat knitters.
For the 1 and 2 carat knitters, if you are a 1 or 2 carat knitter, you can knit this.
This is the shawl for you.
Yeah, and I'm just so stoked that many people have downloaded it. Like, that's amazing. And it just if you're on Instagram and you're knitting it and you're joining us, well, if you're just knitting it at any point, even if you're not joining the knit along, just hashtag, and I'll put it down here, Narita Express shawl, and then we'll get to see them all together. You can go into our group and join the knit along, which is till the end of March. I want to say we might extend it, but probably till the end of March.
I can't wait to see how people are going to block it, because Marsha's an aggressive blocker.
Yeah, but I have 2.
But you've got 2. One you blocked aggressively and one you blocked not so aggressively. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see how people are going to block it and the yarn they're going to choose.
And they're gauged too, because people's, like, it has the gauge amount there, but not everybody goes by that. So it could be even flowier for some people than it is for others. So I'm really excited to.
I mean, this is my very first time ever knitting a swatch.
Like. Yeah.
I never gauge what I'm making. I just make it and see how it looks and go with it. And if I don't like it, I rip it out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
So we're going away this weekend.
We are. I totally forgot about that.
We are going away with our book club.
It's the greatest book club.
For 2 nights. We are going to beautiful city of Vernon in the top of the Okanagan Valley. We're going to a place called Sparkling Hills.
Yeah.
And it is a spa. And yeah, we're going for 2 nights and hanging out with our book club and probably doing quite a bit of knitting and just relaxing. And
yeah, it's going to be an amazing,
really good,
amazing trip.
And we are also May 11th, the registration
March
opens.
11th.
Oh yeah, March
11th.
Sorry, March 11th. The registration opens for the knitting retreat that we are going to in Sorrento, and it is called...
It's going to be in Sorrento, and there's a number of classes. I believe it starts on Thursday. You can go for Thursday evening, and then there's Friday classes. But the full retreat actually starts Saturday, Sunday, and each day, like you'd sign up for a class or something you're interested in, and then it runs the 2 days of the retreat. And it's going to be so much fun. I have chosen to take, so if anyone else wants to take a class with me, I am going to take Fixing Your Mistakes. Because I make mistakes all the time, and I'm learning slowly to fix my own mistakes. But I'm sure Marsha's getting a little tired of, Marsha! And then she's like, what did you do? And I'm like, I don't know.
Okay, so it's the 18th annual Okanagan Knitting Retreat. And it's in Sorrento, BC from May 27th to 29th. And it is not like, it's not like Knit City. Knit City is a massive market, and then there's classes that kind of go off, and this is more for the knitting. There are 2 stores represented there that have some yarn, and it's like the last time I was there, there's 2 small displays, so you can purchase yarn, and people bring yarn that they want to de-stash or trade or sell or whatever. So there's that, but it's very focused on the learning and just the knitting and getting together aspect. It's not a huge retreat either. I think there's about, I want to say 150 people that attend this, and yeah, we're going to get our registration in right away. They open up on March 11th, and the retreat's in May. So, yeah. Yes, I feel like it's going to be really good. I'm really excited about it.
It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Me too. I didn't go last year, so I'm excited to go this year.
We're going to go down on the Thursday and stay till the Sunday. And it ends in the evening or afternoon.
Yeah.
Evening.
I think it goes to 4 or 4:30.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yeah. So yeah, then we leave that night to come back.
Come home.
And it's about a 4-hour drive, I want to say, to get home from there. So we'll be home probably around 9 o'clock at night or whatever. But yeah, but it'll be good. And yeah, we're really excited about that coming up. So we also wanted to send a message to our friends. We have 2 American friends. They don't know.
They don't know that we're doing this.
They don't know that we're actually best friends.
Right. We're BFFs.
But when they come to visit us,
we've got a place for them to stay.
Yeah. Then they will know.
Yeah.
So they have a podcast, and it's called Legacy Knits. Mm-hmm. And it's a fairly new podcast. And so you probably already know who it is.
Legacy Knits.
So it's Sue and her daughter Chelsea, and it's like a generational knitting podcast, and they're hilarious. And we just wanted to give you both honorary British Columbian citizenship. And it has 2016. So I'm pretty sure if you take these to the border,
they will say, you know what, your passport is irrelevant. You can just come in.
Just come on in. Come on in. You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
congratulations.
So get a hold of us and get us your mailing address, and we'll send you your certificates. So Scilla had a birthday a month and a half ago.
And we were trying to keep within the time frame, so I didn't show all of my new stash enhancements, so I'm going to show the rest. Marsha took me to a yarn store, and she basically said, what do you like?
And Scilla said, I like it all.
So this is what I liked. So I like Malabrigo. This is a Rios. The colorway is Archangel. So I like this. I think this is beautiful. Don't know what I'm going to make it in. I have 2 skeins.
Make out of it.
Or make out of it. Make in, make out. And so it's pure merino superwash. And I think I have a fetish actually for merino superwash.
It's so pretty.
It just seems to be what I gravitate towards. And I try and gravitate towards other things.
I like how it's got orange and purple.
Doesn't pull me the same. Me too. This color it's so pretty. Like if you look at the colors, there's orange all the way through it, and then there's
yellow.
Purple, and then it goes darker purple, and it's beautiful. So this is beautiful.
Scylla's trying to get away from the blue because I bought her all the blue for Christmas.
I have a lot of blue yarn, and the ironic thing is, this was also one of the things that I got that magical shopping day. And I'm knitting this sweater out of this, but it's
the exact same color.
It's
almost.
a totally different kind of yarn, totally different gauge, but the same color.
Yeah.
And so I am trying to go away from the blue a little bit, not because I don't love blue, because I do, but because I have a lot of blue in my stash now.
Yeah.
And so this one here, and the store we were at had a lot of Madeline Tosh, and I never knit with Madeline Tosh before, and so I'm like, let's embrace it. So I got a skein of Madeline Tosh in every color, not in every color, obviously, if you know Madeline Tosh, but in very different colors, in very different weights. So this is the Tosh Chunky, and it's called Thunderstorm. So you can see it's, it's a little bit thunder. It's mostly
a little bit thundery.
Mostly a darker color, but it's got a little bit of lighter stuff in it. And it's just a really pretty color, and it goes great with my Midnight Magic.
Is it soft?
It's so soft. Feel it. Feel how soft that is.
Oh, it smells a bit vinegary. Do you smell? Do you get that?
Is that from dyeing it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally smell it.
It's like a little hint of vinegar.
A little hint of vinegar from the dye.
I like it.
Me too.
Makes me want fries. Ooh, like fish and chips.
It's so delicious. So then there's this one. It's Thunderstorm. Then I have worsted weight called Spectrum. Also Madeline Tosh, Superweight Merino. Superwash, sorry, Merino. It's also soft. If you can see the colors, there's a bit of there's some green and some brown and some teal and some turquoise all in there, even though the main color is a purple, but then it goes lighter over here. And as you dig, you just see like all of the colors. It's so wonderful. Just makes me want to touch it and sniff it and hold it and hug it. Next I have, and this one was outside of my color zone, but I liked it and I saw it and I wanted it. So this one is called Modern Fair Isle. Like Fair space ILISLE.
Yeah.
And it has like beautiful colors in it. Like you can see here. Can't really see. Mark, you put your hand out. Thanks.
Just bring your hand there.
There we go. So you can see it has like flecks of all of the colors. There's orange, there's red, there's black. It's just super pretty. I can't wait to see what it does knit up in perhaps the Narita Express. And this weight is a DK. And then the last one is going to be my very first pair of socks. Madeline Tosh sock yarn. And its color is Charters. And so it's this one here. You can see all the colors. It's all of them.
That's so pretty.
I know, I love it.
How many colors are in there? So I'll count them.
I don't know if I can count them. There's green, red, blue, pink, purple, yellow, probably, orange. There's all the colors. Just all of them. So these are going to be my socks that I knit. And I've been thinking a lot about knitting socks. And so we'll see which comes first, the sweater or the socks.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Until next time. No, we'll see next time. That's not a... And I have this lovely, beautiful yarn bowl. So you can see the detail.
So pretty.
So pretty. It's got little feet on the bottom.
Yeah, I like the detail around the bottom edge.
Me too. don't know if you
It's
can
like a
actually see.
stamp.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's super pretty. And the color is just gorgeous. So that's my yarn bowl. I'm really excited to use it. And that's it for me.
That's it.
That's it.
That's awesome.
Now I'm sniffing yarn. Do I need to be on your couch?
Yeah, probably. Probably. It's probably a thing. Well, I feel like that's it.
I feel like that's it too.
So
super stretchy.
And we're way over the time.
Yeah, we are. But we enjoyed hanging out with you.
Yeah. It was beautiful. Thank you for joining us.
Until next time.
Until next time.